25 Ukrainian officers trapped in deadly Russian ambush as wave of drone strikes unfolds near Kupyansk. Russian forces reportedly carried out a coordinated ambush against a group of Ukrainian military personnel operating in the Kupyansk direction, using aerial reconnaissance and successive drone strikes to engage the unit after its movements were detected. According to Russian military accounts, the operation targeted a group of approximately 25 Ukrainian officers who had been assigned to conduct a difficult frontline mission. Russian sources stated that the Ukrainian detachment was observed by reconnaissance drone operators shortly after entering the operational area. The unmanned aircraft reportedly maintained continuous surveillance while transmitting real-time coordinates to Russian command elements, allowing forces on the ground to prepare an ambush before the Ukrainian unit reached its destination. Rather than engaging immediately, Russian forces reportedly tracked the formation for an extended period to determine its route and identify the most favorable location for an attack. Panic and death overtook dozens of Ukrainian troops who were ambushed. The movements of these enemy troops were clearly recorded by Russian drone operators. With very good coordination, the Russian troops carried out a very deadly ambush. At the beginning of the very dramatic video, it is not clear that the explosion that hit the Ukrainian troops was caused by an artillery or drone attack, but the attack made dozens of Ukrainian troops panic after all the preparations were ready. The Russian troops sent drones one by one to hunt down the Ukrainian troops. The officers, totaling 25 Ukrainian soldiers, panicked and were successfully eliminated. Regardless of the weapon used, the first strike reportedly forced the Ukrainian troops to scatter in search of cover, interrupting their advance and complicating efforts to reorganize under fire. As the situation developed, Russian drone operators continued monitoring the battlefield from above, relaying updated positions of the dispersed personnel. Russian sources stated that once the Ukrainian group had been pinned down, additional strike drones were launched in sequence to engage individual positions identified by reconnaissance aircraft. According to the Russian account, the drones attacked one after another, targeting soldiers attempting to move between cover, regroup with their comrades, or withdraw from the area. The continuous aerial surveillance reportedly enabled drone operators to adjust their attacks as the situation evolved, reducing opportunities for the Ukrainian unit to escape detection. The reports claimed that the Ukrainian personnel, described as a group of approximately 25 officers, experienced confusion after the initial explosion as repeated drone attacks followed. Russian sources alleged that many members of the unit were eliminated during the engagement. Strike drones have become an important complement to conventional artillery by providing greater flexibility against moving targets. Unlike indirect artillery fire, drone operators can observe the battlefield in real time and adjust their approach as personnel relocate or seek cover. This has made drone-supported ambushes an increasingly common feature of frontline operations. Relentless Russian firepower pounds Ukrainian positions across multiple fronts as MLRS, TOS-1A, FPV drones, and UAV strikes cripple defenses. One of the most significant operations was conducted by Uragan Multiple Launch Rocket System, MLRS, crews of the Zapad group of forces. Russian military reported that the rocket artillery units successfully disrupted the delivery of ammunition, military equipment, fuel, and food supplies intended for Ukrainian frontline formations operating in the Kharkov region. Intelligence assets reportedly identified supply routes being used to reinforce Ukrainian defensive positions before coordinates were transmitted to artillery crews. After receiving targeting information, the Uragan launchers fired a salvo of heavy rockets toward the designated logistics corridor. Russian sources claimed the barrage struck transport vehicles, ammunition stockpiles, and supply distribution points, significantly disrupting Ukrainian resupply efforts. Officials added that the same strike also destroyed a heavy unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, command post, which allegedly coordinated reconnaissance and strike drone missions over the battlefield. By targeting ammunition deliveries and food supplies in addition to command infrastructure, Russian forces seek to complicate the sustainment of Ukrainian frontline units and reduce their ability to launch offensive operations. In another sector of operations, the TOS-1 Solntsepiok heavy flamethrower system belonging to the 25th Combined Arms Army of the Zapad Group carried out a devastating strike against a temporary deployment area occupied by Ukrainian personnel. The TOS-1A, known for firing thermobaric rockets capable of producing intense blast pressure and extreme heat, remains one of Russia's most destructive battlefield systems against fortified positions and troop concentrations. According to Russian reports, reconnaissance drones detected Ukrainian forces occupying concealed positions within a temporary staging area. After confirming the target, the Successive crew launched a volley of thermobaric munitions that engulfed the area in a series of massive explosions. Russian officials stated that the strike destroyed defensive shelters, equipment, and personnel located within the deployment zone. The TOS-1A's thermobaric effects are designed to neutralize enemy forces taking cover inside trenches, bunkers, buildings, and wooded terrain. Further south, artillery units assigned to the Vostok group of forces conducted another precision fire mission using the Grad MLRS in the Zaporozhye region. Intelligence personnel reportedly identified a Ukrainian fortified stronghold supporting defensive operations along one section of the front. Shortly afterward, Grad launchers unleashed a barrage of 122mm rockets against the coordinates. Russian military sources stated that repeated impacts ignited ammunition stored inside the position while defensive structures caught fire, effectively destroying the stronghold. Officials described the attack as part of ongoing efforts to reduce Ukrainian defensive depth before additional operations in the sector. The Grad multiple launch rocket system continues to play a significant role in Russian combined arms tactics due to its mobility, rapid deployment capability, and ability to saturate wide target areas with concentrated rocket fire within seconds. Meanwhile, another Uragan MLRS unit from the Zapad group of forces conducted a separate strike in the Kharkov region after reconnaissance assets detected concentrations of Ukrainian personnel operating alongside a drone command position. Following confirmation of the target, artillery crews launched heavy rockets eliminated enemy manpower while simultaneously destroying the UAV command center coordinating aerial reconnaissance and strike missions. The growing importance of drone warfare has led both sides to prioritize attacks against UAV control stations. Eliminating command posts can temporarily reduce surveillance coverage and interfere with battlefield coordination conducted through unmanned aerial systems. Russian drone operators from the Vostok group of forces also played a major role in the latest combat operations. According to the Ministry of Defense, attack UAV crews detected Ukrainian infantry preparing a counterattack in the Zaporozhye region. Surveillance drones tracked troop movement before strike drones were dispatched against advancing units. Russian stated that multiple precision drone strikes successfully disrupted the assault formation, forcing Ukrainian troops to abandon their advance before reaching Russian defensive positions. The operation reportedly prevented the counterattack from developing into a larger engagement and demonstrated the increasing role of unmanned systems in defensive operations. Attack drones have become one of the defining features of modern warfare, allowing operators to identify, track, and engage targets with relatively low cost while providing commanders with continuous battlefield awareness. Russian forces have increasingly integrated reconnaissance UAVs with FPV strike drones and artillery units to conduct rapid target acquisition and engagement cycles. Elsewhere along the front, the Center group of forces employed first-person view, FPV, drones during operations in the Dobropoli direction. Russian military sources reported that FPV drone operators successfully intercepted and destroyed several Ukrainian drones attempting to conduct reconnaissance missions over Russian positions. In addition to engaging aerial targets, Russian FPV drone teams reportedly struck components of an extensive Ukrainian communications network operating within the sector. Officials stated that antennas, relay equipment, and communications infrastructure used to coordinate frontline units were disabled, reducing the effectiveness of Ukrainian battlefield communications. Electronic warfare and communications disruption have become increasingly important aspects of the conflict. Damage to communications infrastructure can delay command decisions, complicate artillery coordination, and reduce situational awareness among frontline formations. Russian airborne troops also participated in coordinated operations. Paratroopers from Novorossiysk carried out combat missions in the Orkhov direction, employing reconnaissance drones and precision strike systems to identify Ukrainian military equipment concealed near defensive positions. According to Russian reports, airborne assault units successfully destroyed several combat vehicles while also targeting communication antennas supporting Ukrainian battlefield coordination. Russian officials stated that disabling communications equipment further complicated enemy command and control capabilities while reducing the effectiveness of reconnaissance assets operating in the area. Airborne formations continue to perform reconnaissance, rapid assault, and precision strike missions in support of larger combined arms operations, frequently coordinating with artillery, drone operators, and electronic warfare units. Meanwhile, the Sever group of forces conducted another series of drone operations in the Kharkov region. Reconnaissance UAVs reportedly located several Ukrainian drone command posts responsible for coordinating reconnaissance flights and directing unmanned strike missions. Russian drone operators then launched precision attacks that, according to official statements, destroyed multiple UAV command positions. During the same operation, another strike targeted and eliminated a 120mm mortar used by Ukrainian forces to provide indirect fire support against Russian positions. Mortars remain among the most widely used battlefield weapons due to their mobility and ability to deliver indirect fire quickly. Neutralizing mortar crews can significantly reduce incoming artillery threats while improving the survivability of frontline troops.